The clock on the wall says it's time for me to chime in on another presentation of Voices. My name is Socrates. I bid you all good morning, good afternoon, good evening. In whatever time zone you find yourself in, you're logged on to WIN FM 98.9. We're located in the Science Complex downtown Bastia in what they call it's the capital of my double slice of paradise. We're going to pause for a few words from our sponsors for this program, and then we come back, and I think I have a little topic that we want to get into today. So good morning to all out there, downtown and back.
Flow stands with West Indies fans behind We Cricket. Be a part of the excitement when you sign up for any broadband or postpaid plan and get a chance to win a trip for two to an ICC Men's T20 World Cup match in Antigua. Get two chances if you sign up for both. Visit discoverflow.co to sign up or upgrade. Promotion ends June 15th. Terms and conditions apply. Flow, official telecom supporter of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup.
If you think the TDC 10 sale at Home and Building was massive, then we have another one for you. TDC Automotive Division in St. Kitts is having a massive spare parts sale. This and every Friday until June 28, 2024. Not 50 or 60 or 70, but up to 85% off genuine spare parts. You heard me right. We got shocks, bearings, brakes, pads, belts, spark plugs, hoses, rods, horns, headlamps, mirrors, bulbs, and much more. Everything must go. Sorry. I'm so tired. This and every Friday until June 28, 2024. Go to TDC Automotive Division at the C.A. Paul Southwood Industrial Site in St. Kitts for this massive spare parts sale. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details. Remember, at TDC, together we succeed.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put your Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, let me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. He are a sipper, she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Hey, once again, welcome back. So, viewers and listeners out there, wherever you are, I want to say good morning to, of course, Miss Rosemary Donald. She have a little signal that she's logged on. And Jamster, Dr. Martin just said in his closing remarks that you can lose lots of money chasing women, but you can't lose women chasing money. Is he correct? Or have you ever heard women saying, maybe not to you, but saying, oh, you're always out there working, you ain't got no time for me, you're chasing money, but don't you lose women chasing money? No, seriously. He said you can lose money chasing women, and he said he himself has experienced that. But he said you cannot lose women chasing money. I beg to differ.
It works both ways, though, because you might lose that one woman, but while you're making the money, you're picking up other women. So
it's conditional because there are times when you figure that you have to go out and chase the money, do a double shift, make sure that your home is well provided for. She, in the interim, feels neglected. You have no time for me, you're out there. So I'm not going to say that you can't please you, right? But the fact is you can lose money or women chasing money, right? Well, that's a little thing for today. Now, I promised myself that on this program in particular, I would not get into anything political for reasons. Because I've been branded by lots of folks as being a political animal, So I try to stay away from those topics for reasons. Okay, this is not my platform to air my political views. But there's something that's been out there in the public domain for the past few weeks. We've had various social commentators weighing in on the topic. I read an article just a few days ago where somebody's inquiring how come the local media is not addressing this issue. is the RICO lawsuit filed by the CEO of MSR Media. And as I said, I've heard a couple of social commentators to mention one, Big Rice Watley. His position is that one of the persons named in the lawsuit, which is the Honorable Denzel Douglas, should resign in his capacity as the Minister of Foreign Affairs until that matter is cleared up. On the other hand, I would have heard another advisor to Dr. Terence Drew, what's his name? Edinburgh, saying pretty much the same thing. At the same time, you have another person saying that which is Ashley Adders, he's advocating that Mr. Philippe Martinez is giving the country a bad name. And he's advocating that Dr. Terence Drew, the current Prime Minister, should get rid of him in whatever capacity he's now positioned. So we have Dr. Drew being told to fight that get rid of Dr. Douglas, advocating that he should resign. This is coming from Edinburgh. Big Lies is saying that Dr. Douglas should resign until the matter is cleared up, resign in his capacity as Foreign Affairs Ambassador. And then we have Ashley Adders advocating that Dr. Drew should get rid of Martinez because he's doing damage to our country's name, the National Bank, etc. The average guy in the street I don't think they're very much informed as to what exactly is happening. There is an opinion piece that I want to read. It's rather long, but it gives you perspective as to what exactly is happening. Well, to the best of this writer's opinion, I want to read it. It's rather lengthy, but it's good fodder for debate. At least it gives us insight as to what's happening out there in terms of the name of the Federation. And it reads, Philippe Martinez, movie producer and convicted fraudster, and his MSR Media SKN Limited, continue to cause all sorts of confusion in our federation, in our cabinet, inside the Labour Party, and all across St. Kitts and Nevis. He has filed a RICO lawsuit in Florida in the USA, in which he names a number of St. Kitts and Nevis individuals and entities. RICO stands for Racketeer, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act. It is a U.S. federal law, a civil cause of action that provides for extended criminal penalties in the United States. It is a civil lawsuit filed by an individual, not by the U.S. government. Martinez has leveled sensational, unproven allegations of fraud, money laundering, and corruption in this RICO lawsuit filed in the U.S. against two former prime ministers of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Right Honorable Denzel Douglas and Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, both of whom are still serving members of the National Parliament here in St. Kitts and Nevis. In relation to our Citizens by Investment program, he has also sued a number of other outstanding citizens, companies, and of deep concern to many of us, our own St. Kitts and Nevis Anguilla National Bank, majority owned by the government and hence by the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Dr. Douglas is currently Senior Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Trade et al. In Dr. Terence Drew's led St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party administration. Dr. Drew replaced Dr. Douglas in a political leader of the Labour Party a couple of years ago in a contentious party convention, and is still believed to be very uneasy about and feeling threatened by his cabinet colleagues. I think they're referring to Dr. Drew in that, How did this thing start? This is what everybody want to know. It was Martinez and his MSR company which wrote the libelous letter in November 2023, and 2 defamation lawsuits were filed against him by Dr. Harris and Caribbean Galaxy in the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, St. Kitts Circuit for defamation. Remember, although this thing started when Martinez stated that he was relying on Nevis Premier Mark Brantley as his key witness. Interesting. He has referred to as his advisor and A.G. Garth Wilkins' confidential social media WhatsApp exchange, which I'm going to read that again because it gets a bit thing there, right? He has since said that, remember all of that, it started when Martinez stated that he was relying on Nevis Premier Mark Brantley as his key witness. He has said that he also relies on Drew supporters. Drew Astafan, there's no comma here, Drew Astafan, who he has referred to as his advisor. So are we hearing that Mark Brantley, Dr. Drew, and Dwight Astafan are his advisors? And A.G. Garth Wilkins' confidential social media WhatsApp exchange, which have made their way into the RICO lawsuit, and one must wonder to what extent is Dr. Drew and his cronies implicated and behind this unsavory saga, which is tarnishing our country's good name. That is what bothers me. The whole image, this black eye that St. Kitts Nevis is getting. I continue. As far as we know, Martinez is not and has never been a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis. Even if he wanted to become one and was to apply, this could not happen. He could not pass the due diligence test because of his conviction and jail sentence in France. But what is particularly troubling is that fraudster Martinez himself has been embraced by Prime Minister Drew, who appointed him to be the face of our CBI program, the sole public benefactor. That is what he was trying to get clarity on in the circus a few days ago with some other taxi drivers, and they were denying that this thing existed. And they said there's an article up there, and I was told, well, I don't read that publication, right? So here we have Martinez himself has been embraced by Prime Minister Drew, who appointed him to be the face of our CBI program, the sole public benefactor. Well, I ain't so smart, so somebody have to bet on that for me. So what really is Martinez's intention? What is he after? Is it big money? Why are certain elements in St. Kitts playing up with him while he threatens our banking system after discriminating, that's what it said, discriminating our CBI program and threatening our elected officials? And what is our Prime Minister, Dr. Drew, saying to all this? In several instances, I have surmised that Dr. Drew is a frail and inept leader and Prime Minister. We hear that some of his inner circles have called for him to call for the resignation of Dr. Douglas. One or two have particularly denied this, but word on the street is that in cabinet, that it was part of an emergency cabinet meeting a week ago when Dr. Douglas was asked by Dr. Drew to resign. We hear that Dr. Douglas absolutely refused. He is not playing with them, and it seems that he might have majority support in the cabinet. We are reliably informed that Douglas called for a voting in cabinet as to whether he should resign, and only Drew and one other elected representative, along with 2 senators, favored that motion. The bombshell is that while Dr. Douglas is sued by Martinez in Florida, Martinez has given Dr. Drew a mega suit here in St. Kitts. If Prime Minister Drew is asking Senior Minister Douglas to resign because he is being sued by Martinez, what is it to happen now that, or what is it to happen now that we know that Martinez has also sued Prime Minister Drew? On the other hand, Dr. Douglas detractors say and point to the fact that in December 2018, the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party, then led by Douglas, authorized a code of ethics. This was signed by candidates including Dr. Douglas and Prime Minister Drew. The code of ethics was to signify a mutual agreement between the party and the public to embody a new era characterized by accountability, underscoring their commitment to promoting good governance. Today, as Dr. Douglas faces a lawsuit from fraudster Martinez alleging his involvement in a significant corrupt practice, the nation has heard very little from Dr. Drew about his views on the lawsuit involving his senior minister, who continues to sit in his cabinet and serves as the minister, not about his own suit. There are those who say that the neighboring territories' prime ministers have asked members of cabinet or other senior officials faced with serious allegations to step aside until they have been cleared. In Antigua, Asa Michael was advised in May of 2018 to tender his resignation by Prime Minister Gaston Brown following his implication in a bribery probe during court proceedings in the United Kingdom. In St. Lucia, and this name got me, so I'm going to go Raymond, Ubaldus Raymond, who served as Finance and Public Service Minister, tendered his resignation amidst allegations against him in 2019. These allegations prompted an official investigation by the government. I did say so lengthily. And there have been others, for instance, Marissa Filbert, who held the position of Speaker of the House of Representatives and a Member of Parliament for Trelawney, South Jamaica, tendered her resignation as Speaker of the House of Representatives September 2023, following a report that the Integrity Commission, the report which was presented in a parliamentary disclosure of failure to declare a vehicle in her statutory declarations, thereby rendering them inaccurate and incomplete. There is clear distinction here. The allegations here in St. Kitts are made by convicted fraudster Martinez, set out to hold our entire country at ransom while he destroys our CBI program after he has received mucho dinero, much money, from the Nevis Island administration, while getting hundreds of CBI shares from the Harris Andrew administration. More egregious is that Martinez has been made the face of our CBI by the Drew administration. This is the point I was driving to us guys. He has been made the face of our CBI by Dr. Drew administration. It is for him to give cover for the failure of Dr. Drew's administration. Reset the program, which has been a failure. His allegations just a red herring to divert attention from the significant downturn in our economy with the loss of CBI revenues. Martinez has become an enemy of the state, a clear and present danger. And instead of questioning Dr. Douglas' loyalty to his country and asking him to resign, Prime Minister Drew needs to ask fraudster Martinez to resign, revoke his appointment as a representative of our country as the sole public benefactor of the CBI program. PM Drew needs to distance himself from fraudster Martinez and fire him now. The country demands it. It's 23 minutes past 11. It started just about 3-4 minutes past. We can now pause for a break, and then we come back and see. We have a call. We go straight to the phone lines. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Good morning, the King.
Carl Brown, you in town. What's happening? What's going on?
Oh, not much. I'm not doing too bad for my age.
Count the blessings first.
Oh, hallelujah. The King, good morning to the listeners home and abroad. Carl Brown here. The King.
Yes, sir.
A number of things concerning that CVI. Didn't lawyer Sylvester Anthony had some big posts in the CVI?
That is correct.
Okay. Question. We, the public out here, is asking if it is true, since around March, April, the lawyer information that has reached us.
You need to prefix that by it is alleged. Okay?
Yes.
You need to qualify those statements by it alleged by before you address.
Yes. That's
Okay.
what they say. It's alleged information reaching us. Is it true? And question asking that lawyer Sylvester Anthony resigned in March, April, or was fired by Dr. Drew. We want to know.
Okay.
The other thing is, I have laid to you guys about a month or two ago that the CVI was making preparation to be a statutory corporation. It is now fully, we have alleged information, learned that it's now fully a statutory corporation.
As of when?
As of just recent.
Okay, recently.
Yeah. Now, the other information alleged information that we have gathered, those workers that were working up, that are working up there still, don't know their fate. But we have also learned that a number of them are now doing a training course in professionalizing them where they can now work for themselves as
contractors?
Yes, and they can also work with the statutory corporation.
Okay.
The other thing concerning that, when Dr. Drew, Martinez, and Mr. Martin is going to come and tell the public, I've been asking this question all the time for over 2 months now, that they have made the CVI a statutory corporation. And what is to become of the workers that was working under the CVI? What position?
CBI.
CVI, sorry.
What CBI.
Position, how they stand, how they is. Are they going to be paid off? And are the statutory corporation is now going to give them a contract? The public need to know, and the workers need to know their fate.
These are, if what you're saying is true, these are valid questions to be answered.
Yes. The other thing is, the King, Mr. Conway Maynard, he is a professional electrical engineer, right?
No, he's a technical person. I don't know if he's go ahead.
Yes. The question is, Wednesday night again, the king, the hospital current was fluctuating continuously during Wednesday evening.
Mm-hmm.
Folks was up there, booked and assigned to go take X-ray. But because of the current off and on and people were sitting in darkness constantly, they were told to come back on Thursday morning. A Sunday or two before, the current went off. Before that, Dr. Drew said it was a mock drill. Right? The question is, when Mr. Connis Maynard, the Prime Minister, Dr. Drew, is going to get a professional or professionals, electrical engineers, to go to the hospital and set that generator properly online, that when the government current go off, the hospital don't continue to get embarrassed like that, that it will cut in 15 or 20 seconds after the government current go off.
I want to take you back to what you said about Wednesday, because I wasn't too clear about that. You said Wednesday evening there were patients up there. You said they were waiting to be attended. Is that what you're saying?
They had done sign up. There were people there done sign up for X-rays.
Okay.
For a number of reasons and things they needed X-rays for.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And because the current was off and on, and people were sitting in darkness throughout the number of fluctuation of the current, they were told to come back on Thursday morning. Because if you have current going off and on like that, you can't do those things. Okay.
It's unfortunate if what you're saying is that it's an ongoing saga that has to be addressed, especially at the hospital.
And easy to address, the king. The generator is there. The generator just needs to be properly set online.
One would assume that there's regular maintenance.
When the government current go off, it will come on 15 or 20 seconds after.
Yeah.
And you will have current going continuously till when the current come back, and that will automatically lock off itself. And you don't hear Dr. Drew talking about that, and Dr. Drew knows that that generator is a iffy when the government current go off.
But secondary to that, right, apart from Dr. Drew being the head of everything else, the person assigned that particular portfolio, never mind that he's the Minister of Health, Minister of Works, Public Works, that's his job to ensure that these entities function properly.
Exactly. They put people in place. Remember, when they come in, they take up all kind of people from all over the place, bring them and put them in position there at the hospital. Lots of them don't have no health experience. They have a degree, and people seem to think because you have a degree, they could just take you up and post you anywhere to work and function without any field experience, without any knowledge of that position. It don't work like that. Your degree don't mean you could come and cut grass because you have a degree. Your degree don't mean you could go and be a plumber or a pilot.
Carl Brown, over the past 20 years, for those who, want to reflect on recent memories, we've always seemed to be having problems with generators and power supply interruption. Why is this? As an institution like the hospital. Now, 20 years ago, I sang about that,
Yes.
Due to a power failure, a baby died in an incubator. 20 years ago. So it doesn't make sense that in 2024, we're having similar problems, challenging with generators. So there has to be somebody to come and explain. There's supposed to be regular maintenance and upgrading to whatever, because you cannot have a generator made 20 years ago, but you can buy the proper software to update because they're very expensive. But this seems to be, over the past month, a recurring problem.
Machinery. And if you're adding all kind of machinery all the time, the king, you have to upgrade the power and the output.
So the last public statement we had on the issue was when? And by whom? The last public accounting or statement on this issue was made by whom, and by when was this done? Explanation-wise.
That was Dr. Joe when he said it was a mock drill.
And since then, the problem has been recurring.
2-3 times now since that.
This is not good.
No. And to see that the hospital is in the village. The Minister of Works and Utilities live and represent the village. Listen, I would have been so ashamed, the king. I would have rushed from the time the one with say the mock jail.
On the Sunday?
I would have rushed to make sure that thing is fixed properly and set properly, because it making me look bad as the representative.
Well,
because the representative live in the village, you know. He live Beacon High.
that's not in the village.
That is it. His village.
That is not in the village.
It is a part of his constituency.
That is different. But
Yes,
clearly, this
it's
is
a part
a
of
matter
his
that has to be addressed
constituency.
with urgency.
Right.
So if it's a part that they need to source, whatever, at least say to the public, what about the doctors up there? What about the medical officials? They shouldn't be in limbo. They shouldn't be experiencing this thing
All
from
of
time
them
to time.
silent. And to see the director is a medical doctor.
Wow.
Imagine that. And who have worked in the hospital and other hospitals.
I've heard you on various media platforms speaking about the same problem. It's recurring, so it needs the attention. I'm glad that you actually bring it back to the studios of or the areas of Win FM. But we do have to pause right now for our station break, ID. So
Yes, I will be back, the king.
please appreciate that. Okay, we now take it downtown and give credit to our sponsors.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices. Rams is always here. Rewarding your loyalty. Rams is always here. We are community. We are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
Flow stands with West Indies fans behind We Cricket. Be a part of the excitement when you sign up for any broadband or postpaid plan and get a chance to win a trip for two to an ICC Men's T20 World Cup match in Antigua. Get 2 chances if you sign up for both. Visit discoverflow.co to sign up or upgrade. Promotion ends June 15th. Terms and conditions apply. Flow, official telecom supporter of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup.
All fathers are special, and at TDC Home and Building Depot, we know this is a fact. From June 8th through to the 29th, enjoy 20% savings on appliances, electronics, furniture, hand and power tools, housewares, and lawn and gardening supplies, and show him just how much he means to you. Still not sure what to get? Gift him with a TDC gift card and let him choose exactly what he wants. Go to the store where every father shops, the TDC Home and Building Depot. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Like you, yeah. No, if you don't know them, daddy, thank God me know mine and him take care of me. Daddy, I'm a general.
Okay, we're back. On today's presentation of Voices, I opened the topic of the MSR media and their weekly lawsuit against the former prime ministers. I think there was a reporting that Dr. Harris would have had certain matter squashed in the U.S. courts. I think it was in Florida. Some elements of the same matter. But across to St. Lucia, I would have listened to a 42 minutes presentation interview with a journalist in St. Lucia with Mr. Martinez. And he's wanted to come across as a potential savior of the program, protecting his interests, which I'm not sure what it is. But what he's basically stating is that once he got involved, he realized there were some things happening with Galaxy, the Les Khan, the company, and that was charged with building the prison in exchange for 5,500 of our passports. He speaks about Chinese operatives in China acting suspiciously, and that he would have warned the governments of both St. Kitts and St. Lucia about what was happening, and that his warnings more or less fell on deaf ears. And so now he had to go take action, start his own investigation, and found all these irregularities to the point that people, and they spoke about 3 incidents where Chinese nationals were accused of, arrested on fraud charges in selling our passports, etc. They possess our passports. He's saying that they don't qualify, but yet they have our passports, and they're part of the Galaxy program. So he is presenting as someone trying to stop the corruption of the CBI program. He would have mentioned that the CEO of the St. Lucia version of CBI would have is implicated, and tried to reach him in New York over the last 10 days to apologize and get out of it. Okay, let's take this caller. Go to caller 11 Voices.
Hi, the King. Morning.
Morning, sir. How about that?
I'm giving thanks for life. And yourself?
Most beautifully, doing the same.
Okay. Can I have permission to speak?
Most certainly, sir.
I'm calling you on I think it's the New York line.
Okay, we're hearing you loud and clear.
Okay, good.
Are you in New York?
Yeah. Your topic is timely. I did not touch this topic except to say, I think it was last week on the Morning Tea program.
Yeah.
After I listened to the second interview with the one, Mr. Martinez.
Yep.
And the legal minds, they are responsible. They are quiet, but the legal minds should weigh in and assist us laymen. For instance, what is the WICO? What is the acronym WICO stands for? So that we could get a better feeling of what is Mr. Martinez, trying to accomplish in the U.S. and also in the St. Kitts High Court, or the court here also. But what I glean out of it from my own layman perspective, it seems like if WICO, the federal government, a branch of the federal government that is responsible for, seems like they are responsible for racketeering and
that is correct.
Blase money laundering. Huh?
That is correct.
Okay,
I'm trying to find the correct acronym because I read it a bit earlier. But go ahead.
Yes. So that the layman like me, persons who are listening, could get a better feeling as to if this investigation is being turned over to those people in the U.S. They don't leave no stone unturned, They are thorough, so to speak. And so I don't know where the list is going to end in terms of who will be inculcated into this matter. It seems like it's ongoing, and I only pray that St. Kitts and Nevis, the citizens, will at the end of
I want my country's name out of the trillele. That's the whole thing.
Because here is it, the king. The king, here is it, Here is it, the king. Successive administration has been confronted with matters of this magnitude. Matters of this magnitude, I don't know how magnitude is this present magnitude. But matters of this nature.
We recall
seems
the
like
Mogadam
obsessive
issue.
and-
We recall the Mogadam issue. Recall of visas, visa access to Canada was cancelled because
we
as you,
recall
the visa
yeah,
program.
we recall the Magadan issue under
Yes.
one administration.
Yes.
We recall the what the guy, the
Nigerian, I can't
Hush
recall his name at
Puppy.
the moment. Was it Hush Puppy?
Hush Puppy.
Yeah.
It was Hush Puppy.
Sounds
Something of
sounds
that
correct.
nature.
Sounds correct.
So under another administration, and now this administration. But there are so many questions because I would like to ask, who introduced Mr. Martinez into St. Kitts and Nevis? When did he the data? When did he acquire the hotel, which is MRS now? What legislation was passed to consolidate, to solidify the scandal from the prison project so that going forward, investors will rest assured that, hey, there was a little filth here and there, and through legislature, through our act of parliament, we has rectified. For now, for the man now to come back now, we would have thought that after the rectification in Parliament, he would have gotten a clean slate. Things seems like everything on the surface look fine and dandy till something pop up. But lo and behold, it don't seem so. There is more in the matter than just the petrol.
What he's indicating, right, is that is the Galaxy company, Caribbean, whatever. They're the ones who are operating corruptly, and he was able to recognize elements of that, and that he presented to the government. And they seem to be doing nothing about it, so he's doing what he's doing enough to protect his interests. Now, as far as RICO, it stands for Racketeer, Influenced, and Corrupt Organization Act. Right?
Thank you.
It is a U.S. federal law, a civil cause of action that provides for extended criminal penalties in the United States. It is a civil lawsuit filed by an individual, not by the U.S. government. So he's coming,
Yes.
he wants to come across as a savior or the protector of the program against what Galaxy is doing, because they're the ones who are given license to sell 5,500 of our passports in exchange for building
But
building
here
the
is
prison.
the king, here is my rationale, here is my logic.
Mhm.
Along the way, from, let's say, from the Mogadam issue, international bodies of regulation was brought in, maybe every quarterly, maybe every 6 months, maybe every 90 days.
Mhm.
These guys who scrutinize things, as to say the processing fees and the applicants.
The
and
due,
so. They
diligence
are not
process.
without. They are a part of the programs, the 5 programs, which the 5 jurisdictions has agreed to allow these international bodies to say, well, hey guys, we are not doing this thing in a mystery. You have access to all of the records. Here are they. And from time to time, they might have given advice as to how you can tighten up things and so. But it's not like the five of them. Okay, it's only St. Kitts and St. Lucia now. It's being called. But it is not to say that they are not on board. The regulators, international regulators, the banking transactions,
Mhm.
all of that is on board. So it is interesting. It is interesting. It is really, I did not. It's not that I was negligent and didn't pay this subject any matter, but I did not really had the time to really delve deep into it until I've listened to some of the first interview
Mhm.
with the lady out of Joseph, out of St. Lucia, and the second interview in depth.
I watched both in its entirety. And in that second one, Martinez is alleging that the company that Galaxy has employed to do the due diligence processing is in China. He said they employed a Chinese company.
Yes, he is alleging that.
Yeah.
He's alleging that. And you and I as lay persons and others that are listening as lay persons, we will see. We would see. But I am not going to keep silent. I have never, ever since I have gotten my voice, I'll never keep silent. I am an independent thinker. I am an independent, I am a freelance worker in the tourist industry. Whatever I get at that time, I'm satisfied. And I am not going to keep silent because what it is interesting, though, that one of the companies is based on Nevis.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was
Maybe
Martinez. It was Mark Brantley who introduced Martinez to St. Kitts, to the PM. And he lists.
With
I
the
understand
other administration.
that. But in this process, he has listed Mark Brantley, Dwyer Stefan, and Dr. Drew as his advisors in the very same matters. So it's kind of convoluted. But what I'm saying, when certain matters are before the court, you really can't comment on them. But somebody needs to come out to the public.
I am only talking about what I would have gathered from the interview, you know.
I understand that.
I am only talking about what I have gathered from the interview.
Here in St. Nevis, somebody needs to come out and take away the guesswork from people like you and myself. Explain to us exactly what is happening.
We have so many guys in the legal fraternity that could do that. But I tell you what, there's so many silent in
Wrap
the
up for
land,
me.
right?
I have a next call. I want to take
like,
before the thing. So wrap it up for me, please.
All right, the king. I'll call back.
Okay, Sam. Much appreciated. Caller, you're live on Voices. With the caller, are you there? You're live on Voices.
Yeah, good day, man. How you doing, the king, man? How you doing today, man?
I'm having the most wonderful day. Count on my blessings first. What about you?
Yeah, great, man, great. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm happy you brought that discussion today back. Like you asked a question, the legal minds, where the legal minds of the Federation, where they are on this issue, because
It's giving my country a black eye.
Huh?
It's giving my country a black eye. I'm not happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. Neither me, man. Neither do I. The legal minds need to come forward because this is a big legal issue or issues. So the public can get some more insight and some more, knowledge for those who need it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I've been, listening to these talk shows and, the status quo remain, man. If persons in the Federation know that this will affect, the economy. Corruption is one of the big things for me. I've been talking against that for a while now. And me, I'm somewhat really impartial. You know what I mean? These allegations are very damning. Very, very, very. And they're not going to go away until this case is settled. I have a lot of observation personally. Persons are deflecting, persons are pointing fingers, persons are trying to distance themselves. But once this court case starts, all the evidence is going to be presented. All the information is going to come out. What I'm so taken aback by is by the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. They don't really have no courage. There's been a lot of persons who've been calling on these talk shows, talking in line of good governance and transparency and all that stuff. And the CBI program, they're neglecting to bring that transparency forward. And that is what's hurting this government right now, who came in on the good governance agenda. Nobody can say that this is not a scandal. Talking about scandals, I've observed a lot of persons had a lot of criticisms about the former administration, about scandals. And then now here we are, in my opinion, the biggest scandal I ever heard of.
Here's my question for you, right? What happens when you pour old wine in your skin?
I might not have that answer, man, but you can tell me. I give up. I give up.
Now, you said that the current administration came in on a platform of a good governance agenda, right?
Yeah.
So what happens when you pour old wine into new skin?
Well, the wine gets old as well. the corrupt
It's contaminated.
The corruption the corruption continues.
The old wine is supposed to mature and for men to get better. But sometimes
Me personally, yeah, I get you on that, man. I get you on that. My response to that would be the corruption continues.
the band plays on.
For me, go ahead.
Is to get my country's name out of that nonsense.
Okay, but
Do what you can.
The persons who can do that, they need to act towards that. And we have a current government right now that they think that they did enough action, but they didn't. They didn't. And the cat is out the bag now. And I want the people, man, to move towards trying to hold their leaders accountable. You cannot all just point your hand at one person. All of the individuals who are involved with this stuff, they need to be reprimanded. Trust me. The people are sitting back too much. They need to demand more of these leaders.
Did you catch the top of the program? Did you catch
come
when it
again?
first started? When it started first, did you catch the opening
No,
remarks?
not really. No. But I've been following this very closely.
Because I mentioned that
Yeah, go
Big
ahead.
Lice is advocating that you get rid of Dr. Douglas, right?
Okay.
Ashley
Me
Allers,
personally, okay, I heard that earlier.
Ashley Allers is advocating.
I listened to Big Lights that night when he was saying that too.
Okay.
I listened to him in his entirety that same night, live. And the man has a great point.
Right, but what I'm saying.
The thing is right. Our current leader, he needs to act like he's the prime minister. Whatever these guys, they had this information. They had this information prior to him going in, and even after he came in initially.
Okay.
So my thing about that is, if you got a thief in your house, and you know that that's a thief, you know what I'm saying? You harboring the thief.
Okay.
So you know what they said about that, man.
Okay.
You harboring the thief.
I have a next call on the line, right? And I have 5 minutes to wrap up. So let me take this call and we'll continue the discussion. Fair enough? All right. Caller 11 Voices.
Hey, the king.
Yes, Carl.
Carl here again. The king.
Yep.
Let me jump up like Honorable Conway. Point of order. Hear what is happening here. They are calling for Dr. Douglas Head. But we have to call for Dr. Joe Head too. His name is in it. Whether as the Prime Minister or as the Finance Minister, the fact that he is the head of the country and his name is implicated.
I was just
in
speaking
that
about the
lawsuit.
three positions taken between Edinburgh, Ashley Allers, and Big Lice. 3 different positions on the same issue, right?
No.
So Allers is asking Dr. Drew to get rid of Martinez. Get rid of him, fire him.
Dr. Douglas?
No. Big Lice is asking to get rid of Dr. Douglas. Right? Same as Edinburgh. But Allers on the other side said, no. Let them say, but get rid of Martinez. Apparently, he has been given a position in the CBI program. And as far as Allers is concerned, he's giving the country a black eye. He's also attacking the bank. Right? Carl, I have a next call on the line, and we have 2 minutes to go. So your second contribution, let me take this next call. Got a caller, you live on Voices. We lost a caller. Okay, we have a hotline this morning. So we have 3 positions by 3 advisors. Let's take this call. Got the caller, you live on Voices.
Good day to you, Socrates.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
Greetings in Jesus' name.
Definitely. Let me hear you.
Yes, definitely. Now, what I would like to ask is this, okay? What law, all one name in this suit, this confusion, what law in the United States did they broke?
No. I don't know if they broke any law out there, but this is an international program, right?
If it is an international program, isn't it supposed to be tried in an international court?
Yes.
But it's not being tried in an international court.
RICO statutes are international.
This RICO statute is a U.S. federal law.
There was also a filing done here against the Prime Minister here in St. Kitts.
Well, maybe a filing might have been done here if laws are broken here. But what law did any of them break?
Okay, I stand corrected. I'm told that nothing has been filed against the PM, so my apologies for that.
Okay, good, very good. So what law has anybody who has been named, what law have they broken in the United States?
I can
to be charged with the United States
statutes.
Law, RICO.
That's a very good question.
Because as far as I see, if you could charge me in the United States without me breaking any United States law, well, why can't I charge you in St. Kitts without you breaking a St. Kitts law in the U.S. For somebody who is in the U.S.? This thing to me, I need that question because other than that, it ain't making no sense to me. You mean I could be charged with a U.S. law and not break any law in the U.S.? That ain't make no sense to me. I mean, and to me, this is the first question. How could you charge me with breaking a U.S. federal law? And I ain't breaking no law in the U.S.?
Chris Collins is saying that you have a point. But if you commit... Go ahead.
Yeah, RICO, to the best of my understanding, was a U.S. federal law that came into being to deal with the mobsters like Al Capone them.
Correct. It was created for that purpose.
Right, it was created for that purpose. It's a U.S. federal law. You can charge me with a U.S. federal law when maybe when the man in nowhere directly or indirectly break any U.S. federal law.
Okay.
This thing ain't make no sense. And last I wanted to say, none of the politics.
Okay, caller, you're live on Voices. How may I help you?
Yeah, I just wanted to come back in real quick. Concerning the question that caller asked about, why is the U.S. so involved? What we got to remember is all those bank transactions came through American banks, Bank of America and J.P. Morgan Chase. And me personally, I want to see the Prime Minister take some action, the real action that he needs to take to clean up around him, because if he don't, he's gonna be the fall guy.
Okay. We know what news time.
We know what news time. People need to take action in their own hands.
Can you hear me?
That's it for now, man.
Hey,
yeah,
Gregory, the last caller answered the question, all right? But we know what news time, so after the presentation, we can continue, all right? So we now pause for the Win FM's midday newscast.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoyed the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured. Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With the Win FM headline news, I am Yulana Weeks. Locally,
new parade route and return of performance stage for Culturama 50. Tucker Clark Primary School hosts a successful Father's Meeting.
The details and more straight ahead.
Maweva Liburd, Central Committee member and Senior Parade Chairperson for Nevis Culturama Festival 50, said revelers should expect changes to the Senior Street Parade route. No more loops around Charlestown, she said, explaining that the parade will begin on the outskirts of the city. There will also be a return of the stage performances for Culturama 50.
This year, we're starting the parade from Value Mart area. So no more loops around the town. We're starting from Value Mart and we're bringing back the stage this year, the stage performance this year. Quite a few people missed the stage.
At the waterfront?
So we're going to have the stage performance at the waterfront. Yes. And we have the normal 3 judging points at Value Mart, Villa Grounds, and at the stage.
The Senior Parade Chairperson advised the troops and mass bands to be in line for the start of the parade at noon on August 6. Any troop that missed their spot will have to join in at the back, which means they will miss their initial assigned band.
We want to start on time so everyone can go straight into the last lap and enjoy the last part of Culturama. Once the troop is in the first position and they're not there, then we will continue on and the second troop would be leading the parade and so forth. That is how we have that organized. So we won't be waiting for any troops this year. And we have certain things in place so that if they don't conduct themselves in an orderly manner or to listen to the subcommittee members in terms of the flow of the parade, then they will be disqualified.
Meanwhile, the Culturama Committee is seeking interested persons to participate in the Culturama 50 Street Parade as parade marshals. Their roles will be critical in ensuring the effective pacing of the parade while ensuring the safety of revelers and spectators. Parade marshals will be compensated for their services. The Tucker Clark Primary School, also known as the Pride Land, hosted a special meeting for fathers of children attending the school. The initiative proved timely as it was held just a few days shy of Father's Day. The featured address was delivered by Pastor Clive Saunders of the Unique Touch Christian Center, Sandy Point, who encouraged the fathers to play more active roles and spend time with their children, as these are critical times when children need the appropriate attention and guidance. The principal of the Tucker Clark Primary School, Devon Harris, told Win FM that the school aims to empower fathers each year by hosting the meeting. He said the attendance was pleasing.
Fathers play an integral role in the lives of their children. They're seen as role models, disciplinarians. They're seen as superheroes in the eyes of their children. And one way that the Tucker Clark Primary School continues to promote that is every year we host a meeting for fathers only. And this year the turnout was amazing. We had close to 100 fathers, and I think the fathers came ready to learn as much as they can as it relates to the information that was being shared.
According to Harris, the fathers were encouraged to develop strong bonds with their children and to ensure that they foster an appropriate parenting relationship with the mothers of their children.
One of the things that we also encourage them to do at the meeting is to develop a good rapport with the mothers of their children for the sake of the children, because the children needs some sort of stability, and we encourage them to continue to have good relations with their children's mothers.
Principal Harris said he was happy that the school could have hosted such an initiative, allowing the fathers to glean new knowledge relating to fatherhood.
Regionally,
despite the numerous irregularities encountered, we accept the results and the will of the membership of the party.
Diplomatic in defeat, the United Patriots committed to standing by their party and its newly elected NATEX.
All candidates of the United Patriots pledged to remain dedicated to our organization.
Kamla Persad-Bissessa's star team's victory was resounding, with their candidates beating their opponents by a margin of between 9,000 to 10,000 votes. Now, the preliminary data gives us a total electorate of around 17,000, but Parry wants the public to take note of that.
If you said that there are 17,000 people came out to vote, which is a high voter turnout, what about the other 100,000 voters that did not see the importance of coming out and casting their vote?
Now, Parry was asked by CNC3 News if the star team's clean sweep at the polls invalidates his team's claim that UNC people want change at the leadership level, particularly with its political leader.
Well, if 100,000 citizens that sit on our membership list did not come out to vote, I don't think that's a validation for anything.
Now, this may be the end of the Patriots for now.
The campaign, to be clear, as of this press conference, is over. Right? Yeah. Over.
But there's the large matter of the political leader's position being up for grabs next year. Is Parry eyeing that spot?
Anything can happen. And I suspect if that comes about, myself and any other member of the party are free to do so.
Now, around midnight in Siparia, Kamla Persad-Bissessa declared an early victory for the star team, even as the vote count continued. But she lamented that there was something different about this internal election campaign.
I have gone through so many campaigns. As leader myself, 6 internal elections I have caused to be held in the party. And this has been the worst year.
But Rushton Parry, who had previously ordered his slate to conduct a no-mudslinging campaign, is perplexed about that assertion.
If anybody can, substantiate what Mrs. Persad-Bissessa said there, coming out of our team, well, I would be very, very surprised. Yeah.
Parry said he does believe the UNC is stronger now, but it is his slate that started the process. Akash Samaru, CNC3 News.
The opposition APNU-AF said the U.S. sanctions against Permanent Secretary May Thomas and PPP local government representative and businessman Nazar Mohammed and his son directly links the government of Guyana to high-level corruption that possibly includes high-ranking officials of the current administration. At the opposition's weekly press conference, economic advisor to the opposition leader Elson Lowe said the move by the U.S. to sanction Thomas and the Mohammeds for alleged acts of corruption and gold smuggling has exposed the administration for its alleged involvement in corrupt acts. The opposition said the government cannot distance itself from the 3 persons sanctioned by the U.S. authorities. The opposition reminded that the same government that is now seeking additional information from the U.S. on the corruption claims sought to protect Permanent Secretary Thomas when she was detained and grilled by the U.S. authorities last year and had her phone seized and her visa revoked.
She should have been sent on leave since then in order to carry out a thorough investigation. But the PPP encourages corruption. So these serious indications of potential wrongdoing are always swept under the carpet. We are aware that she is but the first of a long list of senior PPP officials who are likely to face sanctions as the U.S. policy of investigating corruption in Guyana continues.
While accusing the government of putting the country's economy at risk due to possible sanctions, Lowe said the government must do all in its powers to protect the country's financial system.
We want to urge that the government take these sanctions seriously and act within the confines of the law to root out such crime involving other party members that may be involved in corruption, smuggling, or any other illegal activities. We also urge the government to carry out a risk assessment so that it can advise Guyana's financial institutions on an orderly way to approach these sanctions.
He also said the Irfan Ali administration must not turn its face from a threat to the entire local financial system, urging further that the government carefully navigates the crisis without provoking further sanctions on any of the country's financial institutions. Vice President Barbara Jagdeo said the government has instructed the Bank of Guyana and the Financial Intelligence Unit to compile a report on the implications of the sanctions on Guyana's financial system. He said the government will take the necessary steps to safeguard the country's financial system.
Internationally,
at a press conference in Johannesburg Sunday, Jacob Zuma repeated allegations of election fraud, but the former president reserved his harshest words for his successor Cyril Ramaphosa and a coalition his African National Congress agreed with the Democratic Alliance, which Zuma called meaningless.
Where have you ever heard that such a big member of political parties, not one, not Umkhonto Wesizwe that people don't like, the whole big group of political parties all complaining simultaneously that we are robbed here. We want this to be looked at.
Last week, Zuma unsuccessfully sought a court order to prevent the first session of Parliament from convening, citing a need for a vote recount.
Let us see the votes properly. We've got many stories about votes. Some banned. You don't even need to listen to what people have to say. There must be a repeat. No. There must be an elections.
Ramaphosa was re-elected by lawmakers for a second term on Friday. ANC struck a last-minute deal to co-govern with several opposition parties after failing to secure a majority. Zuma's party is not a member of the coalition.
Israel's prime minister has disbanded the six-member war cabinet he formed after the October 7th attacks. The move by Benjamin Netanyahu has been widely anticipated. He says he will continue to consult a limited group on what he called sensitive issues. The announcement comes just over a week after Benny Gantz quit the war cabinet. Let's speak to Bernard Smith about this. He's joining us from Amman in Jordan because the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera. So this move, as we said, was widely expected, especially after Benny Gantz quit the war cabinet.
Yes, it was, Foley. The cabinet was set up in the days after October the 7th, essentially as a way of trying to show national unity, to bring in opposition MPs. Benny Gantz and Gadi Eisenkot, former chief of staff, joined. In fact, one of Gantz's reasons why he said he was willing to join this war cabinet was it would stop the far right from having any influence on the prosecution of the war. Well, now Gantz and Eisenkot have withdrawn. It only leaves Netanyahu and the defense minister, essentially. So he's dissolved it, and he's dissolved it, so Israeli media is reporting, because Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, those far-right ministers keeping Netanyahu in power, they have been agitating to join this war cabinet. So rather than let them into the cabinet, he's dissolved it, and the reporting is that he'll use sort of a kitchen cabinet. He'll speak to some smaller advisors on what decisions to take regarding the continued prosecution of the war in Gaza.
Yeah, and also later this Sunday, we're expecting the U.S. Special Advisor Amos Hochstein to travel to Israel for talks to prevent an all-out war between Hezbollah in Lebanon and Israel. What message are we expecting him to carry?
So Amos Hochstein is President Joe Biden's special advisor on the Middle East, on the region. He's arriving, the White House says, to avoid further escalation along the blue line between Israel and Lebanon. That's the official border. He's trying to avoid an escalation there. He arrives because of a real increase in the exchanges of fire across the border. It's been quieter in the last 48 hours, but before that there'd been a step up in exchange of fire. And in Israel, it's a very live political issue, because since October there's been some 60,000 people, 28 towns and villages evacuated from along there. The Israelis who live there want to go home. The government wants them to go home. They want to be there ideally before the start of the school year on September the 1st. And Israel says it's ready to negotiate something, as is Hezbollah. But Hezbollah says it's only going to sit down and talk when there is a ceasefire in Gaza. And as we've seen, the momentum for that has really dissipated over the last few days. An Israeli military spokesman has said in the last 24 hours that Hezbollah's increasing aggression is bringing us to the brink of what could be a wider escalation.
Bernard, thank you very much. That's Al Jazeera's Bernard Smith reporting there live from Amman, Jordan.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com. When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Attention, savvy shoppers. It's that time of year again to upgrade your home and feed your family with Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. For over 25 years, we've been making dreams come true by offering cashback coupons for free groceries on all hire purchases. That's right, we've given away over $1 million worth of groceries to our loyal customers. And this year, it's your time to cash in on the savings. Whether you're in the market for a new sofa, a sleek kitchen upgrade, or a cozy bedroom set, Hortford's and Ashley Furniture Home Store have everything you need to turn your house into a home. And when you make a higher purchase with us, you'll receive cashback coupons redeemable for free groceries. Yes, sir. So why wait? Visit Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Upgrade your home, feed your family, and save big with cashback coupons for free groceries. Only at Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store.
Guess what? We're back and the phone lines are popping. Good day. Caller, you're live on Voices. What's happening? Hello, caller, you're live on Voices.
Good afternoon, the King.
Yes, Mr. Culture is in the house. How's it going? What's going on?
Yes, man, I've been trying since morning.
We had the hotlines popping, man. That's okay. But your on is now your moment to shine.
Right. What I would like our callers to do,
including
me if I do it, let us have some consideration that other people need to get in.
Mm-hmm.
We can't expect to read the whole New York Times newspaper on this program.
I hear you.
Now, let me advise you as my king. Do not get in the pocketry, like you said this morning. Some people talking about you being politicized or whatever it is. Well, they must understand what's going on right now with the nation radio station, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing happening. And when you're not saying that the Prime Minister wearing shoes made of gold, they want to cut you off.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that part there, they must stop pointing the finger at you and Win FM and look at themselves. Now you see, the King, a president has been set in this country here. That as long as you aim from number 3 and you do something that is right, educational, like you, when you sing your calypso, you sing for the whole universe. Things that happen all over the world. You educate people who do not know. And you're going to tell me they're going to take a calypso like that you sang and cheat you? All because you're not from constituency number 3?
Now you're talking calypso politics.
Look at
That's okay.
Look at you from way down in the West, constituency number 5. You have won many crowns, and then put them on your head because they say your head was too small for the hat. Star Shield has done the same thing from number 5, and even singing Jackie too from down west too. I don't know if it's number 6. Newton Gong is a number 5.
She at one point they had aligned Newton Ground with Sandy Points. That would make it number 5. So one half of Newton Ground was connected to Sandy Point, the other half was St. Paul's. So it depends on where she lived on that borderline. She would have been from number 5 or number 6.
So when I hear them criticizing, I say, boy, look at these people. What spectacles are they reading?
But that is what made the world go around. Everybody won't be for you.
So you look at the calypso that you're saying about everything that is going on in the world. Everybody had a chance.
Oh, Peter Pan for Paul? Peter paying for Paul?
Yeah.
Well, here's what. One person told me that I used to be known for hitting political commentary. And that's what I want to hear. All of a sudden, I sing a tourist song about double slice of paradise, and they want to hear that. So, so you find.
But I'm going to tell you something. Sorry to cut in on you. Right now, I have a 4-verse calypso.
4 verses.
And 4 verses, sorry. And what I plan to do from Wednesday, God willing, I'm going to give you 1 verse.
At a time?
Yes, at a time.
One on Friday. One on Wednesday.
And I ain't gonna call nobody name.
Okay.
A pronoun is over noun. So I could use pronouns. And when I done, everybody gonna know who the cap fit. They wear it.
You're gonna sing it live on Win FM?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're sure?
Remember the song, right? I can't substantiate that, so make sure it's something that we can substantiate, right?
That's why I'm gonna sing characters and I'm gonna use pronouns.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna call the name. But let me tell you this, you hear what Martin will say? All who giving him advice, and some of them open them out and say they need nothing with them. The one thing I know that man will never make on this earth here. They could make all machines to X-ray if a needle in your heart or your heart has a hole, but they will never be able to make an X-ray machine to see wickedness, corruption in people's heart. Thank you. Let me move let somebody else get in.
Much appreciated. I understand what you're saying. That was a great, I won't say was, that is a great culture who's making his contribution to the program once again. We appreciate you for that. And you were the first call in the second half. I want to thank those who were, actively participating in this morning. And we go back to the phone lines. Go to caller, you're live on the Voices.
Hi, the King, I'm back.
You're back. Happy to hear you. What's up now?
Yeah. I just want to make a disclosure. When I present myself to the fore here, it's not really predicated on views of others, even though advice is good and you can garner from others and so forth. These are my own independent views. I see myself as an independent person. I'm not aligned to any political party. So I am free to vote for who I so feel would do a good job. That said, the King, it piqued my interest when you said that from the ends of the pundit, who will want to see who, what, and what. For instance, you spoke about Allers and Edinburgh and Big Line.
Big Line, yes.
Right?
The 3 advisors.
Their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And from one perspective, I could understand. In order to save the nation, because this juggernaut it has been cast wide, our national banks. What if our people, our locals who really go to the bank, call the bank their own, as they, a saving, a place where they can feel like their monies are safe? And what is the ramification that the banks, or the bank, our national asset, the bank, with somewhat, probably 51% shares government owned?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Why would any advisor advise any foreign person to come and target our bank?
Well, you say it's a dragnet, so the institutions like banking caught up in that will be mentioned.
Like I said in my first contribution, all of these financial institutions are being regulated. They are being regulated by oversight. For instance, we didn't have to go to any of the other jurisdictions for the central bank. It is right here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Are you telling me that those oversights, those regulators, right under our noses, would not have raised a red flag already?
Well, we don't know the particular on which the banks were cited. We don't know for sure. That's what I'm saying. We need clarity from the persons in office. We're guessing. That's what we do in Africa. We're saying we need clarity as to what exactly is the state of play.
And because of the lack of the legal mind in the legal fraternity, because of their silence, they say when the people are silent, the nations will go astray, or the nation will go astray. Because of their silence, it prompts me to ask questions as a citizen of this nation. I am asking you that it's our national bank where poor people deposit their money. Legal pundits, what are they say on it? This is the question I am asking as a citizen, a fearless citizen as that. One who don't fear no mortal. None. I have not seen a mortal that I am afraid of yet. So I am asking the question that the negligent legal fraternities are afraid to ask.
It's not
because I don't listen to their programs. I don't get their perspective. All I am getting is the feedback from this program.
Okay, got you.
Thanks for listening. I have a lot more to say.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Hello,
that.
the
Okay.
King,
Yes,
one
sir.
last thing. Hello.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
I attended the funeral of a taxi driver at the St. George's Anglican Church. And I did not stay there till its duration, but while exiting it, I came across my good friend, Edinburgh, who is also a taxi driver.
An advisor of the government.
And he said to me, I heard you on the radio this morning. And he also said to me that he's going to make mention of my name to invite me to come and have a sit down because he thinks I am having it wrong.
Having what wrong?
Whatever his perspective was, what he said, I said. I am only presenting myself because those persons in the legal fraternities are failing the nation. They have the license to speak. And if they're not speaking, I'm not gonna be silent. But even when they speak, I'm gonna speak.
Okay.
And give my own perspective. So Edinburgh, thanks but no thanks. This is the forum I use to reach my people, and I will continue to use this forum. If you hear I said something on the radio, call in after me and give your perspective. And let the public weigh and judge the matter. Thanks for listening.
Much appreciated. And you, my first caller after. So yes, the debate continues and responsibilities. The issue, or the reason why I read that article this morning, because they were saying that they're not hearing from journalists. We do have investigative journalists, but they're not doing their due diligence, and that is why you brought them on up. We have a caller. We go straight to the phone lines. Go there, caller. You're live on Voices. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Yes, me too wanted to come back in after lunch, man.
That's okay.
Me personally, I got my blunt observations and my blunt, suggestions, and if the politicians and them are not going to clean this mess up, man, the people need to mobilize themselves and come together. When I'm listening to these talk shows, a lot of persons, they're talking about, corruption, and they want to see, the place clean up. They want to see somebody go to jail over some of this stuff. There's a popular caller on another talk show every day. I hear him say he wants to see somebody go to jail. And the allegations is really out there. I've asked the Prime Minister and the AG one question pointed each at them. And the AG, I asked them if he get caught up with anything like this, the administration, and what would he do? And I asked him, would he retire or would he wait to get fired from the Prime Minister? And such things, I'm seeing such things directly right now. If I was the Prime Minister, I would have let go some people around me. I wouldn't even put that to no vote, man. I'm the man in charge here, and I would have decided what to do for my administration. Because if you don't clean up around him, is going to come back to haunt them in the end. You know, they see what they needed to see, and they haven't taken the necessary steps. And that's why this guy Martinez went and took the action in court. You know, why we don't have our leaders on the ground? Why didn't they take action and take persons to court if deemed necessary, if the law was being broken? It said that the underselling of the passport is a criminal act, is an unlawful act. And if that's what they saw when they come in, persons supposed to be charged. And the Prime Minister himself, he got to be the one to take that action and direct his AG what to do. And they're slide winding around this thing, but they're not going to be able to sweep this under the rug.
Okay.
It doesn't look good from international quarters, man.
Okay.
And the people got to stand up for their rights, man. They got to stand up and take action and hold their leaders accountable. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks for letting your voice be heard. We have a call on standby. Go to caller, you're live on Voices. Go to caller, you're live on Voices.
Socrates, good afternoon.
Welcome back to the program.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm trying to lock off a radio here. A phone radio, actually. Okay.
All right.
Yes, I just
Let's
got
hear
it
you.
locked off. No, first of all, I would like to say, where all of the parties are concerned, or where all of the political parties are concerned, they're all bad for saying it. Destructive to saying it. None of them is good for saying it, because they're all taking us down an unbiblical, destructive road that is not good for the Federation, and that will only end in our destruction. And to die in our sins, you will end up in hell for all eternity. So I'm not for any of these political parties. They're all going against the Bible. But I would also like to say that, you see, I'm not for this CBI program. Number one, it goes against the Bible. That's the first thing. And I've been saying that for years, and I've been also saying that the more we continue to go against the Bible, the more problems we are going to get in. People don't like to hear it, but God ain't going to let us do things against the Bible and not bring problems on us. He's bringing all of these problems on us. And if we don't repent and start to do things according to the Bible, worse and worse is yet to come for our destruction, ruin, and undoing. So we better start right now to get right with Jesus Christ through biblical repentance and start obeying the Bible and start doing things from the Bible in every area of life. Where the government is concerned, where the churches are concerned, families, business, and individuals are concerned, we all need to get right with Jesus Christ, because we ain't seen the worst yet. He has worse to put on us if we don't get right with him through the Bible, in obeying the Bible, starting with biblical repentance. So these are the things, Socrates.
Yes.
We cannot stand without Jesus Christ. We are destroyed without Jesus Christ. The quicker we learn that, the better it is. Don't get angry with me. Obey the Bible.
Let the church say
Obey the
amen.
Bible. Thank you.
Let the church say amen.
Because that's the teaching of the scriptures.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're also very welcomed. So we had 3 callers, and I have a document here sent to me by Mr. Eric Deport. And I want to thank you for that, because I've been trying to find it for weeks. I have a copy of it someplace in my studio. I wanted to bring it to the program some weeks ago. Mr. Joe Simmons has challenged me to provide him with, supporting documents about the topic I raised a few weeks ago about Marcus Garvey being born in Signing Point. He said, boy, I want to see the document. So Joe Simmons, I have a copy that was sent to me. I just sent it to Jamster, so at some point he's going to read it. But if we don't have any call at the moment, do we have a caller? Okay, let's take this call. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Good day, Mr. Socrates.
Good day.
How are you
welcome.
doing?
I'm okay. Yourself?
And first, I'm calling your program.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm calling like most people on this MSR saga.
Let's hear you.
Now, when Martinez came to Nevis, brought here by the Premier of Nevis, paid over $150,000 per month for him to stay at the Four Seasons Resort and whatever his operations were. He was telling us, the people of Nevis, that the island is running on fumes, and so he didn't have no money to assist people when they were calling for some assistance during COVID. But at the same time, he was finding $150,000 US to prop up this guy.
Who was paying $150,000 a month for season?
The Island administration
was paying for the accommodations of Philip Martinez at Four Seasons?
To the tune of $150,000 thereabout per month. Okay? Now, when he came here, Dr. Kelvin Daly did a study, a research on Martinez, and said to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis and the world that this man has a long rap sheet. He was cussed out. Nobody paid any attention to him.
To Dr. Daly.
To Dr. Daly.
Mm-hmm.
He then moved, according to Dr. Harris now, that Mark Brantley introduced Martinez to the cabinet. And he took the word, he and his colleague took the word of Mark.
Brantley.
And Brantley, and did not really do any due diligence on Mr. Martinez. Only to find out that after whatever dealings they have with Martinez, he now discovered that Martinez had a long rap sheet. And so he's basically saying that he trusts Mark Brantley as a colleague and just took his word.
That is what Dr. Drew is saying?
That is what Dr. Harris was saying.
Dr. Harris, yes. Sorry.
Yes. Now, after the administration change, Dr. Drew came in, and from what I'm hearing, basically made the same Martinez the face of CBI.
The face of CBI, yes.
And so, Mark Brantley did no due diligence on Martinez. He presented Martinez to the federal government of Dr. Harris.
He endorsed
Harris
him?
did no due diligence.
He endorsed him?
Endorsed him and accepted him. He said he took the word of Mark as a colleague. Dr. Drew came in, and Dr. Drew seems that he did absolutely no due diligence also on this man and accepted the man line who can sinker. Now, for me, Socrates, the person who has done the most damage to St. Kitts and Nevis is not even Martinez.
The one who
Premier
introduced him.
of Nevis,
The one who introduced
went
him.
on a radio show and spoke about the passport was sold for sugarcake money. So we have people outside, the EU or others, after our CBI, basically saying that it is tainted. And then you have the Premier of Nevis on a radio show announcing to the world that the passport was sold for sugarcake money. So as far as I'm concerned, he has done more. But the last thing I'm going to say, according to Dr. Harris, and information that we had in Nevis for some time, Mark Brantley is the one who introduced Martinez into the Federation. But also Mark Brantley's law firm was offering the legal services to the same Martinez. And so while he brought in Martinez, while he made sure that Martinez get whatever concessions that Martinez were getting, his law firm was also being paid.
Major conflict
Paid
of
from
interest.
where? Paid from who? And so when he's saying that his hands are clean and showing up that his hands are clean, the buck starts with him, and as far as I'm concerned, the buck stayed with him. I want him to say to the people of the Federation, if in truth his law firm offered or is still offering legal advice to Martinez.
Martinez said that. He says Mark Brantley is one of his advisors.
Okay. So then if he says that, how could he be saying to us that his hands are clean? He's wiping his hands of Martinez. This is not the first time it happened. There was an issue here with a company, First Fidelity or something like that came here, which a U.S. court said was established to defraud people out of their money. One gentleman did a radio show, interview with us in Edinburgh, and indicated that he paid $250 million into that company. Mark Brantley, in his own word, was a director of this company. 4 of them were directors. 2 from the U.S., 1 from Anguilla and him. According to the gentleman, Christian Berry, Mark Brantley's wife was the person who was in charge of the office that time.
Is she a lawyer?
Served me right. He said that he paid his money to her, not knowing that she was Mark Brantley's wife.
Okay.
But what happened is that this company was taken to court. 3 of the other persons were convicted. Mark Brantley was basically scot-free. And he's claiming that his hands are cleaned because he was not convicted in the matter. But he was a director in the company, according to him. Now, let me say the last thing. Janice Daniel Hodge became the leader of the Nevis Reformation Party. And when Miss Hodge became the leader of the party, Mark took out a vicious attack on this woman because she was working in the Virgin Islands. There were some persons who were working in the department with her, was convicted for committing crime, and he was saying that she is guilty by association.
So say he sick. Okay.
But now that he is in this thing with Martinez, he is not guilty by association. His hands are clean. And train up his hands. And so it's for the people of Nevis to understand that this thing started with him. It grew because Harris was the prime minister, did not do diligence. Dr. Joe did not do diligence. When the only man who did due diligence before we got so far was Kelvin Daly. And nobody paid any attention to what he said. And so now we are weeping the whirlwind of Martinez, supported by citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, to try to destroy this country of Nevis, of St. Kitts and Nevis. Shame on all of them.
And Martinez is still claiming that Mark Brantley is one of his advisors.
Okay. But how he could say that his hands are clean?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for the time, guys.
Thank you very much for that. I think we need a breather after this one. Where's the jam, sir? Let's take a breather for this one. We give credit to sponsors, and we will be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Here are your Horseman's Value Mart IGA specials.
Running June 13 to June 26.
Now our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Ocean Spray 100% cranberry juices, $14.99. Uncle Ben's Ready Rice, $11.49. Juicy Juice fruit juices, $13.99. IGA or Essential Everyday Pancakes and Waffles, $10.99. Essential Everyday Fries, $15.79. Suavitel Fabric Softener, just $19.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. Chef Boyardee canned and microwave pasta, $6.99. Libby's canned vegetables, $2.99. Essential Everyday Old-Fashioned and Quick Oats, $15.99. The Colgate toothpaste, $6.99. White Rain shampoo and conditioner, $4.99. Arm & Hammer liquid detergent, $14.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart, tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
Clock on the wall says 12:51. I just send greetings update to Dr. Mervyn Leader up in the U.S. Hi to Amber. Hi to Bag of Sugar. We take this call. You're live on Voices.
Good afternoon, Socrates.
Twice on a... Okay. Well, I might be doing something right.
Yeah.
I'm saying twice. No, I wasn't here on Monday, but twice in succession got a call from my good friend. How are we doing, sir?
Oh. Okay, I wasn't really counting. I wasn't keeping tabs, but
well, I have to count because you know what I mean.
Good thing, right?
Yeah, how are you doing?
Good. Yeah, you know, my first sojourn into on radio, intervention on radio, I can remember well back in 2014 was about the CBI, and I recall trying to convince our own Mrs. Henry, and I think Carla Stefan was the host.
Moderator at the time?
Yes. May not have been on this station, but it might have been on another one. But I remember well arguing that while we may argue about what to do with the money from the CBI, we should be careful in bashing the program, okay? Because the opposition then was using it as a political football, essentially, to whip the current government of Dr. Douglas, saying it was a slush fund, arguing all sorts of things about Vincennes and what's this guy, Mogadam?
Mogadam, yep.
Right, you know, and essentially trying to discredit the program.
So
right?
weren't there real concerns?
But
at the time?
But what I was saying is that I'm not saying that these concerns should not have been raised.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was saying is that we should be careful about bashing it because it gave us pretty bad press. Okay? And what it did was encourage the people who did not like our CBI, the powers that be in North America and Europe and so on. It gave them ammunition. Okay? I remember, for instance, when I think it was Erasmus Williams, it was press secretary then, I think, said something about the issue of the not mentioning the state, the place of birth on the passport directly.
I recall that.
Yeah. That was a result of the U.S. request or something like that. And within a day or two of him making that announcement, the embassy itself responded saying that that was not true, which told me something. They were keeping a really keen eye on what was going on here.
They do.
And I'm sure they still do.
They do.
Right. And so just like then, right now, we should be very careful with what we say about the program for the same reasons. Okay? Yes, we should be critical of the management of it and raise concerns wherever. Okay? But everyone should really realize the importance of this program to us and how it has helped us to hold our head above water.
Financially? Financially?
Yes. Okay? And so be quite guarded in what we say about it. Okay? Right now, to be quite honest, I can't determine who are the devils and who are the angels in this thing. Right? Because a lot of people seem complicit. And to be quite honest, I have a feeling that if this guy, Martinez, had not done what he did in terms of taking matters to the U.S. court, that a lot of the bad practices of the past would still be happening. I really feel so. Okay? Because, you know, a lot of money plus politicians don't normally end well, to be quite honest. Whether it be the CBI, whether it's dipping into Social Security, or wherever there's a large pool of funds, it just don't end well. Okay? And the CBI is no exception. So I suspect that just like we've been asking for transparency and openness and so on forever with this program, and we're still doing it because information released is still being done in a selective way, okay, to make whoever it is look good, okay, or to make whoever it is, whoever they need to make look bad, look bad, right? And so the poor citizens, we are out here wondering exactly what to make of all of this. one thing for sure, I think the overall amount mentioned between 2008 and 2022, I think was $5 billion, $5 billion plus dollars.
That is what he mentioned in his interview in Ladies and Lucia.
That's what? That was what?
Martinez quoted some figures in terms of sales by the Chinese operatives.
No, but didn't Dr. Drew recently give us some figures too?
I didn't get that, so you may be correct.
I think so. And the question to be asked is the same question I asked in 2014. Are we making good use of this money?
My very question.
Right? That's the whole point.
You have to be able to reinvest this money to the benefit of the country, not keep selling.
Exactly. And I don't care if you say, well, a lot of it went into social services and so on.
Once you can see the tangible
it was bad judgment
benefits of it
to put all that money into just that. That money would have been better spent, for instance, making sure that the geothermal capacity was developed, because at least that is more sustaining.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It would have, if it was developed, it would have changed the whole economy. It would be akin to our oil, like it is with Trinidad or Guyana. Okay? As it is now, we're just starting out. Okay? And so what I'm saying is, I think the powers that be, then and now, should be called out as to exactly how this money is spent. It should not be up to
guesswork.
A few people, whether in government or or ancillary services that government control. It should not be up to them to decide how that money, that windfall, is spent. Okay, and that is what has been happening. All right, the politicians keep it close to their chest, and they spend it how they like, and we end up with a lot of wastage. Right, so I would hope that going forward, we not only have more openness insofar as the program is concerned, but more discussion are held as to exactly how we should be using these funds, right? And not leave it up to politicians who, after all, what they're about is essentially keeping themselves and maintaining themselves in office. Okay, I wouldn't go as far to say making sure that they're well fixed up and they're and their friends and donors, etc., are well fixed up, because that's the other thing. I've heard someone comment, a business person here comment and say that CBI has spoiled us. It has made us greedy. It has made us dependent. It has spoiled us. All those kinds of words she used to describe the CBI. All right? And entitled, that was another word she used. All those words. And that really should not be. Okay? So going forward, I hope there's a change a sea change, not just a change in the management of the CBI, right? But a sea change in terms of the mindset of people regarding that program, right? Everybody try and at least be supportive of the program, because I still think there are some people
benefits,
who
yes,
don't like the idea of selling passports. As a matter of fact, some people don't say we're selling passports, we're selling citizenship. Really, to me, that's semantics. But anyway.
It's semantics, but the figure about 5,500 passports was kind of daunting. But I can only say it would be sad that for you to find the answers for the questions you've been asking only after, due to the fallout of the RICO investigation.
Right.
That be the sad part about it, because then it's out there in the world.
Right.
And I'm
exactly.
saying
and
these
now
things.
Everybody's want to wash their hands of it.
Yes. In the meantime,
that is amazing,
Paradise keep getting to the black eye after black eye after black eye.
Into this mess,
mm-hmm.
and who's responsible for continuing this mess are saying that my hands are clean. So
Well,
nobody's hands is dirty.
I saw
but we have a
Double
lot of
D.
dirt around.
Double D was in circus about 2 weeks ago saying, I ain't in it. They say I ain't it, but you can see who in it. And we laughed it off because somebody is in it. But he's saying, that's Douglas, he's not in it. But we will see who is in it. In the meantime, there's a RICO lawsuit filed on 2 former prime ministers and the Bank of National Bank, whatever interaction, and we are left to wonder what's going on. We need this to be addressed.
You just wish everybody would come clean, but I guess that's too much to ask of politicians.
And there's a seeming accusation that the local investigative media houses are not doing their jobs.
Well, if they were in the beginning, we would not have been in this place. Put it that way.
Amen.
Right? That's the bottom line.
Amen
the
to that.
media in the past has been too timid, right? And too afraid to
offend.
And I mean, I guess I understand. I mean, everybody can't be as brave and forthright
as you.
And some people just don't have anything to lose, and they can afford to be that, but not everybody. But if you're in media, that's a
your responsibility.
Occupational hazard, shall we say? Right, responsibility as well.
You're right.
As an occupational hazard.
You're right. You're right.
Know? Can't have it both ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your prejudice, sir? Thank you so very much. Beautiful. Okay, I was trying to find an article sent to me a while ago. Where happened to it, Jamster? Well, thank you, Mr. McMahon, for weighing in on this topic because it's a national issue that's affecting all of us. Okay, we take us back to the phone lines. Good day. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Socrates, it's me again. Let me quickly say, people are asking about lawyers coming on the program, okay?
About lawyers coming on the program?
They're not doing it. Hello?
About lawyers coming on the program? Which program?
Well, people are calling off, a few. Well, maybe a few people are calling off, why lawyers ain't coming on the program to inform us, and why ain't they speaking out to inform us and that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe y'all might have to pay. Maybe they want to come for free. Maybe y'all might have to pay, whoever.
We're talking about civic duty, but we're talking about journalists. It's their job to investigate these issues, these allegations, and bring it to the public.
Yeah, journalists. But
yeah.
What I talk about the one the lawyers to speak out too. Well, maybe in order for them to come and win FM, maybe y'all might have to pay them.
Well, that's above my pay grade. I don't get into those issues. So if it's something that is done on various platforms, well, if it's a norm, it's a norm.
Yeah, it does a suggestion as to maybe what it might take to have them on the program.
Tell them they will get free marketing.
Yeah?
They will get free marketing, exposure.
Yeah. But maybe they still won't do it without pay.
I see.
Yeah. Also, that's a quick something that the second caller mentioned. He mentioned about geothermal and that sort of stuff. But what we are not told, you see, when people want to push agenda, we are not told the whole story. But does people know that geothermal, once you start to use it, it have a shelf life that only lasts for a certain amount of time, and then you have to go and dig more wells?
Okay, we got you with that one. I have a call on the line, Jeffrey. Sorry, Gregory. It's your third call. Let's take this caller. Go to caller 11 Voices.
Hey, good afternoon. I want to put a balance between aloes and big lice.
A balance between aloes and big lice. Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Now listen this. Over the weekend, the FBI raided the Commissioner of Police of the Virgin Islands house and the Director of Management and Budget. What did the governor do? He fired both of them. Just for the raid, because they were doing the investigation.
Who was fired?
And once they get caught up, he fired them.
Who was fired?
The commissioner and the director. Today they're out of a job. But what I'm saying, we like to talk about integrity and all kind of things, but just to show you, so this is where the balance between Duncan and Allows come in. I agree with Allows, and I agree with Big Lies. What the Prime Minister should have done was to ask Uncle D to step down, because he will be sitting in cabinet if he don't.
And a matter that relates to him.
Exactly. And everybody talking about my hand clean. I ain't got nothing to do with this. What happened to the people of St. Kitts Nevis? You see my point?
Yes, I'm letting the public hear you. Continue.
And one more thing. This thing about the Chinese government, the Chinese company
operatives
doing the due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got a problem with that, because I know we had cases before the Privy Council, and we always hire a British lawyer to go
to represent
in that court. I never see them take up a lawyer from St. Kitts and carry him up there.
There was second chair. The lawyers there was second chair. He was the lead counsel.
I understand, but what I'm saying, if you're going to do due diligence in China, are you going to take a company from Europe and carry them to go China to do what? It cannot happen.
That seems to be one of the contention of Martin, is that Galaxy, that has this position, I forget what I'm looking for, to sell the passports, have hired this Chinese firm to do the due diligence, and some of them who don't qualify has passports as national for St. Kitts and Nevis, and they have been arrested and charged with racketeering. So he's coming across as the savior of the CBI, because the persons who he would have warned have not done anything about it. That's his position.
But Socrates, my point is, if an American citizen have a case in St. Kitts Nevis, he cannot bring a lawyer from America to practice in our court. You see the point I'm making?
Totally.
So you would have to get a company that is based within the country.
Work with a local law firm, yeah.
But of course something went wrong with the work that they did. But to make it sound as if it was illegal to get a Chinese company to do it, I have a problem with that.
No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying based on what he observed, he tried to warn the respective governments, not only here, but in St. Lucia. They didn't take him on. So he's suing them to protect his interests. What exactly is his interest, I don't know. But he has been made the face of the CBI.
Exactly. We all know what he's up to. And I can't understand why the Prime Minister is siding with him. What happened to country above self?
My friend, there are more questions than answers.
All right, Sako.
More questions than answers. And yes, thank you for your call. And as I said a while ago, okay, sorry, caller. If you get a chance, give us another shot. As I said a while ago, I forget my train of thought now. I was referring to something as to Mr. McMahon. Okay, we have an next caller. You're live on Voices.
Get back your thought.
Yes.
All right. Greetings. Thanks for taking our call.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, we are listening this saga go on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And up to the time, I got a virgin, he's from England, but he's there Dubai. Meet him here a couple of years ago. And for me, we keep in touch. And the other day, he surprised me and said, you know, say, me want you come to Dubai and you go to India and go to India and see some high culture, high culture. And me want me to go across from the continent, Africa.
We want people to hear you. We want to listen to hear you. So can you speak up a little more, please?
Okay. You heard what I said so far?
Yes.
Okay. And since then, me start to look for my passport. I don't find it yet. It took me somewhere. Me looking for it on my farmer's ID and me not find it up to the time.
Okay.
And me I listen to the saga unfolding, and it is surrounding our passport, isn't it?
That is correct.
The CBI is concerning the passport of the Federation of Painters and Nevis. And when we are listening, as we listen, as the thing unfolds, we look upon the kind of money that we hear involved in the CBI thing, in the Federation of Thinkers and Navies, which amounts to billions, isn't it?
That is correct. That's correct.
That's what we're hearing. We hear a journalist misquote and was using the word millions.
Mm-hmm.
I know it is corrected. Because I was saying billions. And what is our population up to the time? The population of thinkers. I'm talking about people who born here.
You're talking about resident or out there at the moment?
People who born, yes, sir.
St. Nevis? We're looking at about 57.
It's about what? 30,000?
Nah, combined about 57,000.
No, listen to me, no, brother. I am talking about people who born, yes, sir. Born. Me not talk about come from, where they come from. I'm talking
I am
about
saying
people
combined St. Kitts and Nevis is about 57,000.
Okay then. 57,000. So that is 60,000.
Or the 60,000, yeah.
Yes. Born, yes, sir. Think it's a name. You mean to tell me that with them kind of figures, what we're hearing, that is because of the passport of the Federation of Thinkers and Navies. And you mean to tell me, up to the time, our state of affairs concerning the masses of the people is what it is? No, something is terrible wrong. 60,000 people. Yeah?
Yep.
And we have accumulated billions of dollars. And up to the time, the living condition, the everyday living condition is what it is. With that kind of monies being accumulated in the Federation, with a population of 60,000, no, something is terrible wrong. Terrible wrong. We did make a sound, and say that according to our consciousness, the CBI program is not welcome.
Okay.
And yeah, we did say that. And it would be better if we had go another way of opening up ourselves in the Federation of Thinkers and Navies. But it don't happen. The CBI is what it is in our midst. Up to the time, When this program you start in the 80s, they say?
1983, the year of our independence.
Just about when we start to say where we're going to leave this place and go to another plantation land. Another plantation, bigger plantation land. Yeah? And the children them were born, hey, no, something is wrong, man. Something is terrible wrong. You know, we keep talking about right places in right places, you know. Right places in right places in right places. Key. And a lot of people look like them now. Them not pick up, them not fathom what we talk about, you know. Because you see, when right places is not in right places, this is the consequences, you know. And the masses suffer. And still suffering from scarce benefits and spoils. And as this thing keep unfolding, you know, that's all I am seeing, you know. The plight and the situation of the masses of the people, that's all I'm seeing right now, you know.
Okay.
And if this thing continue to go as it's going now, it is going to cause, me hear people talk say, the passive on your sign and we not ready for nothing and with this and with that. But force make water go up hill, you know. And if things continue to go as it's going now, we're going to have some serious bam on here, you know. Serious bam, you know. Because everybody is somebody, you know. Everybody, they don't take we away from the continental home, you know. And pack we up like sardines and jag we in these plantation land, you know. And it was over money, you know. It was over wealth and disrespect. And up to the time, you mean to tell me that we get control of certain things up to the time and doing things that involve these kind of money. Same money. Same money. They even put law in place to continue enslaving us to enrich themselves. Law! Law! The same law we keep hearing about, you know, LAW, you know. Law. And up to the time, there is no law in place to make sure that there's no law to make sure that the masses of the people are living as human beings ought to live. Remember, you know, we would look upon less than human, you know. Now that we are in control, you know. There is no law to make sure that we are living, not existing, you know.
Okay, wrap it up for me. Wrap it up for me, X. I have to go to a station break.
Give thanks to the time.
Much respected, okay? We pause now for a few kind words from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Found the sound, 98.9.
Are you ready to make your pipe dreams a reality? It's time to dive into savings at Hortford's Building and Neva Centers with our Pipe Dreams Plumbing Sale. For the entire month of June, enjoy an incredible 25% off on all plumbing items. Yes, you heard right, 25% off. Faucets, sinks, pipes, and more. Don't let your dreams stay on hold any longer. Upgrade your home with top quality plumbing products at unbeatable prices. Whether you're a DIY enthusiast or a seasoned contractor, now is the time to turn your pipe dreams into reality. Visit Hortford's Building and Neva Centers today. But hurry, this dreamy offer ends with June. Make the most of your home improvement aspirations with our Pipe Dreams Plumbing Sale. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less on our essential everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our essential everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
10:21 on the downside of today's second half of Voices. We have a call on the line. Let's take this caller. Caller 11 Voices. Good to call 11 Voices.
Afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, all the listeners. One thing we want to get clear. Good afternoon, Sharon. One thing we want to get clear.
Mm-hmm.
Because we just not get them at all. You said this man, we don't even want to know the name. At the face of the CBI.
Yes.
Explain that for me.
Well, what it seems that the Prime Minister made him more like an ambassador of the program.
The program did long before he.
Quite so. He only came just prior to during the time of COVID. So he'll be here roughly 4 years.
The program did long before. So how we make you an ambassador? Put that on the program did a long time before he. How that?
Well, once you're given a certain position, there's certain perks that come with it. So he made him the face of the CBI program.
When you come back, maybe sum up some things for you, okay?
Okay, sir. Appreciate that. I heard you tell Jumps that you want to wait until you get here to discuss certain issues. So whenever you're ready.
Exactly. Okay. Maybe sum up some things. Can you see? Are we brilliant there?
Yep.
Are we very, very brilliant? And how we can handle our affairs? And are we so brilliant? You get that?
I got you.
Okay then.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, right?
Okay then. Yeah.
A few days ago, Jamster, I was doing an orientation tour of Sandy Point. I took a gentleman down the street to show him certain things. And I pointed out the home of Mr. Calvin Patty Ferrier and waved to Mr. Ferrier, who was actually on his balcony down at in the building that was the first Catholic church in Sandy Point. That particular building was the first Catholic church in Sandy Point, owned by the Portuguese. They've been French, Catholic, etc. The article that was sent to me this morning was written by Mr. Calvin Ferrier. Yes. Let me bring it up a bit. It said, more about Marcus Garvey by Calvin Ferrier, a former educator, former permanent secretary in the Dr. Simmons, NRP PM administration. Still very much alive and kicking. It's a very lengthy article, but I'm not going to go into all the details of it right now. But it was what I was trying to find a few weeks ago when I mentioned, and I brought the copy of the interview done with the lady who was she's 95 years old, on cruise, celebrating her birthday, and related to us at the Rival Hall that her father was born in St. Kitts. She gave the year of his birth. She was born in the U.S. She gave all the information. She was an educator for 54 years in New York. And she recalled her father saying to her that Marcus Garvey was born in St. Kitts, migrated to Jamaica before going to the U.S. This document speaks about the genealogy of Marcus Garvey, his mother. Blah. You want to read the whole thing? Well, go ahead if you can bring it up. It's a bit faded, but read what you can because it's a bit lengthy. So we hold the phone lines and listen to the presentation of this document by Jamster.
Okay, so it says, let me see. It's funny how you have these things that, okay, here we go. All right, so it, more about Marcus Garvey. The author is Calvin
Ferrier,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Sandy Point researcher, Mr. Derek Henry of the Garvey family at Crab Hill, has found that the mother of Marcus Garvey was a Sandy Pointer named Sarah Jane Richards Woodley, born 1852, daughter of Sarah Mason and Henry Samuel Woodley, who were married on 7th December 1854. Sarah Jane Richards married John Warner on the 30th of April 1874 and had 11 or 12 children. She left St. Kitts about 1900 with 2 or 3 children, including a girl named Elizabeth, also called Indiana, and a boy about 2 years younger whose name on his St. Kitts birth certificate was John Joseph Warner. His date of birth was 26th July 1888, not 17th August 1887. Sarah and children at first lived with an uncle named Marcus Mosiah Garvey, born 1840, who was a Sandy Pointer, originally living at Sir Gilly's estate before he went to Jamaica. The uncle was a Mason, a very domineering person, and probably as a result, John Joseph Warner carried his guardian's name, working with him at the trade. The relationship seemed to have soured. And so first, John Joseph, now carrying the name Marcus Mosiah Garvey, moved from St. Anne's Bay to Kingston in 1906, followed by his mother. She died March 18, 1908, at age 56. Marcus, or John Joseph Warner, was an employee at the printing shop of P.A. Benjamin Manufacturing Company. Marcus became a publisher, journalist, entrepreneur, black nationalist, Pan-Africanist orator, and founder of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and the ACL, African Communities League. When Marcus Mosiah Garvey came to St. Kitts in 1937, he visited his boyhood friends in Sandy Point, including Mr. Arnold McIntosh, a businessman, and it gets
who's a great grandfather of Colleen.
That's who you're talking about.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Right, a member of the Masonic Lodge. I just say gets lodge, and the Warner family who had a Manchester.
Oh, do you have another bit that you didn't say?
It's a bit faded. No, it's the same thing. I'm just trying to get of the Masonic Lodge and the Warner family.
We had a business on Backway or something like that?
Yeah, Manchester Street, Manchester shop. Thomas Manchester.
Okay.
You know, they call it Manchester Street down there. It's a bit faded down at the end, but it's more, and some people may say not, but it's more corroboration.
So what was the man, the original Marcus Garvey, what was his relationship to the mother?
I'll have to go back into this.
And why would he take the man's name? That's kind of strange.
Kind of strange? Okay. We got about 1 minute before we wrap things up, so this will take more time and research. But this is a document I was trying to find my copy of some time ago. It was sent to me by Eric Duport. Thank you very much for that. And I'm going to forward this on to Mr. I called his name earlier, Joe Simmons, who wants to see more of this documentation and the whole story about Marcus Garvey being born in Sandy Point. I want to thank all our viewers, our listeners, those who made a contribution. We had a very interesting discussion this morning, this afternoon, and we'll be back on Wednesday to continue. Whatever topic it is, it's called Voices. We welcome your interaction. We welcome your support. And we want to thank you very much. Wishing you the rest of a most beautiful Monday. It's the 17th day of June. Tomorrow's the 18th. We have a ship in port. Tomorrow we're hosting the largest ship in the world, Icon of the Seas. And so we wish the Federation well in terms of the economic, overturn that we're supposed to expect, right? I want to wish you peace, love, and a bright tomorrow. Saying once again, hi to Bag of Sugar. And we're gone.
WINN is 98.9. 98.